Recording in progress.
Welcome to the Bravo Rundown, where we discuss everything that is happening in the Bravo-verse, from all of the hot stories, hot topics, to what's happening on the shows. And I'm always joined by my fabulous co-host, Sonia Weber, Bravo, Bravo, Books and Bravo, and Just Booking Around. And I am Real Melzer Bravo, also known as Genevieve Melzer. We have to get into OC because the Real Housewives of Orange County had their 20th, that's right, people, 20th episode premiere last night. What did you think about it?
It was just an okay episode. Nothing crazy, which is probably good. We ended in a very, very dark place at the end of last season. So I thought it was fine. It was good. I like that they had Vicky come back, kind of like they did with Tamra, and they did with Heather, like she's back. But then it made me think, what did you do there, Bravo, though? 3 people who were so big on the show, you pulled them away and then you had to bring them back to get the ratings back up.
That's true. And I love the intro too. I love that they started with something silly, fun, because last season was so dark. And I feel like they brought Vicky back to try to make this season more fun, silly. That's what I'm hoping that we get from her. We don't need any other Vicky. We just want the fun Vicky. But she was in her, she was in like where she loves to be the most. She was in Puerto Vallarta. She went to Andalays. We got to see that. We didn't have to wait. It was her and Shannon. They fell on the beach, which was, it's like classic OC. The episode, it kind of felt like, to me, it was lining people's storylines up.
Yeah.
And some of them, I don't know. I don't think you should use your kids or your mother as your storyline. What did you think of Heather discussing stuff with her mom?
Well, hold on. Let me go back to Vicky really quick. I think it was
Yes.
her podcast back in January before she filmed the Ultimate Girls Trip. She was saying that there was going to be a very short gap between Ultimate Girls Trip and OC, but that she had to go to Mexico because either she's trying to get Mexican, some kind of citizenship over there. And she kind of mentioned it in the episode, right? I don't know exactly what kind of, like a green card, a visa or something. And she had said before it filmed, there was a chance that she might get stuck there and can't come back to the US. And I think that's kind of what happened. Yeah. She was waiting for the US consulate to open. So I wonder if it was time to start filming. Vicky couldn't come back to California. So they picked up the phone and said, Shannon, we need you in Mexico so we can film with Vicky. Like, they weren't going to let that stop Vicky filming the beginning of the season.
Oh, that is such a good hot take. I didn't even think about that, but that makes total sense. And then it also makes sense. I was thinking, Vicky made it to Heather's party. Bravo pulled some strings. Bravo called some people to make sure Vicky could get back into the U.S. because you have to have Vicky at Heather Dubrow's first party of the season, right? That's kind of how you kick off the new season of OC every year.
For me, I felt like as I was writing my Substack about the episode, I kept focusing on Heather. Mm-hmm. Did you feel like it was a big Heather episode?
It was pretty Heather heavy, especially because they're kind of lining up this Heather Tamra potential feud, right? From things that we're still upset about last season, that Tamra's still upset. So yeah, it was Heather heavy in that. And then also Heather, because it's Heather's party, and the scene with her mother.
And Heather doesn't like to take accountability, which classic housewife. Heather always irked me a little bit. There's you think you're too good for this group. And they all think that, right? After how many years of being on the show, I still feel that when I see her. So then when she brings her mother on, I'm like, you're going to throw your mother under the bus on television? Excellent entertainment, but how could you do that to her? And then she'll never take accountability for it.
No, never. And I feel like we've seen Heather interact with her mom in the past. I remember when she came back, her and Gina became friends. They went to New York. They talked, they visited with her mom. And I could tell by the stuff that Heather said about her in her confessionals that is a tough relationship, right? And so that's totally fine. That mother-daughter relationship is tough in life for most people, right? And so that's very relatable. The thing is, why now bring her on the show just to kind of make her feel the things that you maybe didn't want to tell her in the past on TV?
Well, and how much is this fabricated? Heather is very big, I feel like, on curating a life that she's going to show us. Yes. And if she wants to show some faults, I feel that those are faults she wants to show us, or maybe she's going to exaggerate it to make it a storyline. I think her mom is 84, which sidebar, I just heard this morning that Sutton's mom, Reba, is also up 44. 84.
No, I heard you say 84.
Okay, I thought I said 44. No. So Sutton's mom, Reba, is also 84. Isn't it kind of funny to compare two people? Her mother looks absolutely amazing. I would have never guessed 84.
Me neither.
But I would assume that she brought her because she's 84. Like, Mom, you need to come closer to me. I'm not moving over there. But also Heather's sister's in California. How have we never met her, seen a photo? I need to go do a Reddit deep dive today because I need to know what her sister looks like and what she's doing.
Please do, and then report back because, yeah, we really haven't met Heather's family, but we did find out that potentially Harry's, what is Heather's husband's name?
Oh,
Terry.
Terry.
That Terry's brother is the reason why they have all the money.
No, she did not. But wait, did she deny it? I rewound it and couldn't understand.
No, she denied it, but like it sounded like she was saying... Vicky was saying brother, but Heather was saying no, mother.
I thought so.
We did not get the subtitle said brother, that Vicky said brother, but Heather was like, no, we did not get the money from his mother. They're still alive. Which, by the way, you can still have a trust and be getting money from a trust fund with your parents still alive. So that doesn't really mean, that you aren't getting family money. But
from listening to her podcast, they did a financial episode about all their flips and stuff.
Oh.
I think they invest heavily and early on made some very smart decisions. So like maybe they put money into Apple or AOL before the that's kind of my takeaway from that whole podcast that I listened to of them. Okay. That and then flipping homes. It's not necessarily like flipping them themselves, but buying property when it's low and then when the time is right, flipping it. And like they did with that big home, the 2 homes that they had in OC.
Yes.
I think they did that in investments. And then he's a plastic surgeon.
Right. Yeah. It's like, that was true what Vicky was saying. Like, you don't know many, doctors that are living in $30 million homes.
Yeah.
And they're very active on the TikTok shop, okay? They are peddling that face cream that they make on the TikTok shop a lot.
And they've tried a bunch of different things. What was the one that they did right the season that she left OC for the first time? It was somewhere in the Midwest. It wasn't like QVC or HSN. It was a different one.
Oh, it was. Wait, is that when she was going to be on her own channel or something?
Quibi or something like that. Oh, that was totally. Which they were way ahead of their time because I think that was the owner of the Mavericks, right? What's his name?
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban, right? Does he still own the Mavericks?
I don't know. I just know that's like his Shark Tank bio, right?
Okay. When he was on. So they were going to make like mini episodes of something, right? Which isn't that what's trending now?
Yes.
What are they called?
Like micro something.
Yes. They're on TikTok and social media, multiple episodes.
But they're dropping a Madison LaCroix micro drama about like her hair salon or I'm like, oh, I didn't even know does she have a hair salon?
It was something about maybe she's just, she was working on building one. Years ago, it was like on her social media. I don't know what happened. Like before she bought this big, massive home.
Yeah. I wonder if she still has that and she's been running it.
That's a very good. Okay, now I need to make like a list of deep dives to do. But also Heather Gay's daughter, hers is a micro drama also, right? About life in college or being in a sorority, or did she quit her sorority? I'm too old for anything about sororities and
agreed.
I can't. Yeah. But okay, going back to Heather. But what I will say is I did not like how she was trying to guilt her mom, make her mom feel bad for the fact that she didn't move to California to live closer to her 2 daughters and help drive around her children to their carpools.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? She raised her 2 children. Like, I will get really this really upsets me that she would do that to her mother. She raised her 2 children. Her time as a mother is done. If she wants to spend her retirement living over in New York, her and her father, let them do that. What does she owe her children to have to move next door and go to every competition, chess match? Like, maybe she's not a kid person. In my retirement years, yes, I would like to see my child or my grandkids. I'm not babysitting every day. I'm not doing carpool. Like, and even Heather has done it for 20 years. You're exhausted from doing it. And then you expect them to do it all over again with their grandkids?
No, I know. And it sounded like the mom that they visited a lot. So it sounded like they were there for big moments and that they would see them at least maybe, I was imagining twice a year, maybe more.
Yeah.
So I felt like that's fine. But yeah, I'm like, less is more kind of thing. I don't know. I just, it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that this is not her storyline for the season, but I have a feeling it might be because I feel like they were all kind of setting up their storylines, right? Yeah. And I'm afraid that Emily's storyline is going to be Annabelle.
Oh, no. Genevieve, I didn't even think about that. That is an excellent connection,
because last year was her son Luke, and this year we're finding out that Annabelle is a teenager now, and and I'm like, oh no, please do not make your child a storyline again, because it did not work, it does not work, and that is not your storyline.
I wonder if that was her daughter's decision, Annabelle's decision to do that, which still, you're only 16 to make that decision. Yeah. But all her children have Shane's sarcasm. The way she talks to her mother, I can't handle that. I cannot handle that. Like the sarcasm. No, not acceptable to talk to your mom that way.
Well, would you want your mom saying that you were raised by wolves on national television? I was like, dang. So it goes back and forth, I guess.
That's true. That's true. She has called her the feral animal since she was very young. That is, at 16, and you're changing. You're gonna look back and be like, why did I do that?
Yeah, exactly. How invested are you in Gina's storyline of her engagement to Travis?
No, I'm like, does she have a storyline? No.
That's her engagement, and I mean, could it be any more boring? The two of them in that scene together. I was like, oh my God, Travis, he had like no personality in this scene. I was like, oh. Is this how you're going to act? I don't remember you being so dull.
He's normal. He's not a reality TV star. But here's the thing. Is his divorce finalized? What are they talking about? I'm going to get married and it's going to be more than 6 months. And can you legally even get married?
Yeah, I want to know what's like. Your life is messy, so bring that on the show, buddy. I mean, your divorce and your ex-wife and that whole thing is messy, and I think it was messy on both sides. I don't just think it was one-sided, unfortunately.
Has to be, but I feel like when you're going through a divorce, you think it's one-sided. You don't. You're still too entrenched in it. But this has been years. How long have they been together?
They've been together for seasons.
Yeah,
I would say they've been together for at least 5 years, right? 5 seasons at least.
So unless the divorce is done, but they're still going back and forth on custody, maybe it's something like that. But Travis has full custody right now.
I know. I was like, why?
That's what we want to know. Like, don't throw little things here and there. If you're going to come on TV, we kind of want to see it, unless it's a situation like Danielle said on In the City. There's an email that they aren't, like a cease and desist, and then they can't. But what I do wonder is Katie Janela, her podcast with Jamie Rice, she's leaking some stuff. It's really good.
Yes.
She has said that 3 producers have said that they're going to kind of wrap up with season 20 with this cast and start fresh for 21, which I think is great. And it makes sense why Gina and Emily came back. Because why do they keep coming back? If you just want to wrap it up and they just threw in that one new girl, Carmela, okay, great. Let's just wrap up this group and then we can start fresh.
I think that Gina and Emily are producer puppets, right? So they'll do anything that the producers want them to do. The only thing about that is, to be a good housewife, you have to be able to do what the producers want in a way where the audience can't tell that's what you're doing, and they don't do that, right? So I feel like if you and I were in a scene together and I'm trying to find out if you are best friends with this other girl now and not me, Gina and Emily are just like, are you best friends with her now or me?
I know.
And the thing is, what we should do is we should warm up to that and make it seem like it's a real conversation and not just like a script that somebody gave you.
Yes. And that's what she's doing. They just don't really fit in. I don't know. They always just felt separate. They don't have any iconic lines. And now Emily with her new body, like, it's hard to watch it. And I say that because clearly it is a lot of work that she is putting in to get this body. Like, take out, like, everyone's going to claim GLP-1s, and she said she has, and then she's not. Take that out of it. She's also putting in so much work. So when she sits down to eat and she's like a bowl of chicken, it's like, it's hard to watch. Like, you're going through all that just to have that body, but it's not like with Tamara. There was an end plan
Right.
of that competition. She's just doing this to live her life. And then when Tamara's like, "Oh my gosh, you look amazing," then it's like, oh, when someone has to work so hard for that body, and then you're getting all these like, "Oh, great job, you look great, you look,"
Accolades. Yeah.
then you in your mind, it's like, I have to always stay this way because people think I look best like this. So I'm just like, I'm not creating anything for her, any problems, but it's just, as an outsider, it's just hard to watch that. And I hope that's not her storyline.
Right. And the thing is, like, it's okay if your fitness is your storyline and you have like a goal, like you were saying. Like if you're, if like that one season where Tamara was doing the bodybuilding competition, I think that's interesting. Or like if someone was running a marathon, like Carl did, I think that's kind of interesting too. Like having some sort of like goal thing that it's like, it's not just like it's kind of boring to just watch you go to the gym. I got to tell you some tea that somebody reached out and told me. And I don't know if this is all alleged, but apparently, maybe Katie said it on her podcast, Katie Janella, that the gym that Emily goes to, she just films herself doing some workouts like for social media and then leaves, and people at the gym are really upset about it because she's like coming in, taking all this space, just filming herself and leaving. And that's not good gym etiquette, okay?
No. But I heard that and I'm like, but she has a body of someone that is working out every day.
Yeah.
She's just not like super skinny from doing shots or something like that. Like, she's muscular.
Yes, that's true. I do think she's working out, but I'm also like, why not just work out at your house? If that even is true, or is that just like a nasty rumor that somebody said and then Katie shared it, I don't
know. But when Jen said, "Oh, if you get a body like that from just eating a bowl of chicken, let's eat a bowl of chicken." Like, oh, we're in 2026. This is not 2006. This is 2026. Like, yeah. I don't really want, like, and then when they went to Heather's party, like, everybody with their same look, that same Orange County look with the
long extensions, long blonde
and then
extensions.
they all went to support Terry Dubrows' job, like, when Heather Dubrow said this is all built on boobs. They've all partook, and they've got the boobs and they've got the extensions. I think because it was always Emily had a more average woman's body of her age, that it was like, all right, we've got her, and maybe maybe it's my issue. I'm like, I actually, like, it's her journey and whatever's best for her, but I don't know, I just don't want to see that as the storyline.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that her storyline, well, it sounds like her storyline might be leaving her husband.
I am kind of curious about that. They've always had an odd relationship, but wasn't it Katie who said that Shane quit his job, or Tamara said she quit her job in order to be her manager? They better start looking at their money and what they're going to do with their law degrees, because
I think that his parents pay for a lot of stuff.
So where's their money from? Let's hear about that.
Oh, yes.
And then her sister-in-law, Shireen, I think her name, or is that her mother-in-law? I want to see more of the sister-in-law. She came to that one poker party, Emily's first season she was on the show. Maybe she'll spill a little bit about where the money comes from.
I really like his mom. Like, I think I like when they go to her house and like she's like a little go-getter. I'm like, yes, more of her, more of that. But if you're leaving him, you better be careful. You better have your ducks in a row, because I do think that's a good idea if they kind of scrub this cast after this, just because give us, something new. You did this. You really did it. You did it for a really long time.
Yeah. Well, and OC, like, you tried to bring in Katie. You tried to bring in Noella. Like, just kind of different aspects of Orange County. You tried to bring that into that group. It didn't work because they weren't authentic friends. So bring in a new group of friends where maybe it's like mixed backgrounds of the people, but they authentically know each other. That's the thing. You have to find a group of people that know each other. It doesn't work. So they've got that new girl, Carmella.
Yes.
Right, was she a WWE wrestler? I don't know why I heard that somewhere. She said she lived in the the bunny house, the one across the street. Did you watch The Girls Next Door
Of
on
course
E?
I did.
Remember
Every
they had that
episode.
house? There was a house across the
Yes,
street.
yep.
So it seemed like she lived in that house. Did they have a spinoff show for a little bit? The other house?
I
Or
think
no?
they tried something
And it didn't quite
yeah,
work.
and then I also stopped watching when it changed, when they got rid of like the original Girls Next
I did
Door.
too.
I was like,
they kept the main, right? But Kendra was off having babies.
No, it was everyone
completely.
was. I think it was
Were
the
there
twins.
twins?
It was twins. It was bad, and then that other one who ended up marrying him in the end.
So it says that Carmela was a former WWE diva
Oh.
and runner-up for the 2004 Playboy Playmate of the Year. And then she works for the Oppenheim Group. That's the Selling Sunset, right?
Oh,
She's
why is
working
she
now.
not on Selling OC or
Okay, so here's
Selling
my
Sunset?
thing. I didn't really like having a new person. This is really the cast that we're just going to kind of have a fun nostalgic year, bring in the old people. I don't really know why that they chose to bring in someone, because if you're going to start fresh, maybe she would have been good to put in on the fresh group, unless they're going to have her transition to the fresh group next season with her authentic friends.
That's smart. That's very smart. Yeah, because you know what? I'm tired of the newbie, we don't like you storyline. Like, trust me, I don't like newbies either. But like, I don't need to see like, ugh, here we go again. You know, Vicky doesn't like new people. Yeah, I get that. I'm right there with you. But also, that's tired. That's a retired storyline. We can't see it anymore.
But you have to kind of know the group. That is the problem.
Yeah.
You like, Tamara's got her little friend Heather, the one that was getting dressed. Like,
Yeah,
we've
she's
seen her
always
a little bit,
at the parties. Yes.
Bring her in as a friend of, because then we know, like, Jen knows her too. Emily and Gina probably know her because she's always with Tamara.
Mm-hmm.
You bring in someone that Jen is like kind of latching on to try to pretend as a friend. That doesn't work at all.
No.
At all. Like, we're seeing on In the City how it works when they're bringing in their real friends, and there's like, some chemistry there, like Yvonne and Georgia. Georgia is next gen. They are doing great as reality stars, and they're real friends of Lindsay's.
That's true. But a lot of people saying that In the City ratings are low. Maybe,
okay.
Yes.
Is it what? Okay, I am totally believing the Queens of Bravo Lindsay little beef that was going on, and Queens of Bravo said in that, well, your ratings are so low, blah 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 blah. That was the only time when I'm like, oh, they have low ratings, and now everyone's claiming that In the City has low ratings. It's like, are we going off that one little thread that Queens of Bravo put out there, or do we all have?
No, I am. I'm
okay,
like,
same.
the ratings are low. I was like, and then I like, asked like, are people watching this? And like, not that many people I feel like are watching it. So then I'm thinking, do you think they're going to get a second season?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think it's going to be like after the Valley. I'm Vanderpump Rules and the Scandal. They had one more season after. Like, Summer House will have their season. In the City will be right. I think that has to be right after Summer House airs. I think they have to do it that way. They're gonna, just like they did this season, and then get it started when the reunion for Summer House is going, because that's probably what got them viewers and got people hooked.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, I think at the beginning, I think they probably had a really strong premiere, with numbers. Mm-hmm. And then I think maybe as it's gone on, people have kind of petered out.
Yes.
Right? Because it's
it's fatigue from the Scandal.
Yeah.
It's tired of looking at Amanda and
Yeah.
seeing Kyle. Like, we know at this point, we know what's going to happen. Because the Scandal broke when? March, was it like 17th or something?
Yeah. It was,
Where now?
Yeah, like we were starting to talk about it at the beginning of March. I think that's when we were like, oh no, yeah, because it came officially, you're right, March 17th, because officially we found out April Fool's, and people were like, it's an April Fool's joke, please.
Yes. And now we're 4 months since that date. We're tired of it. So I could see, it's not even that it's not a good show. It's that I'm so sick of Amanda and Kyle, and they still are together on this show. I can't watch it anymore. They need to pause and take a second. Not pause in the official Bravo Dorinda medley is on pause way, but just like chill out. Lindsay and Kyle need to calm down.
Yes, agreed. And I believe that you saw them on The View. They're just everywhere.
They are literally everywhere. It's good for them to get on The View. I watched only half the clip of YouTube because it was nothing new. It was the ladies, not Joy, the younger ones, Sarah and the one who just had the baby, I can't think of her name. They were just basically rehashing the scandal. Kyle did say it wasn't completely that they never had sex. It was like a couple times here or there. That was the
Well, on Summer House, he said they never did.
never
so
at all.
that was a lie.
It was a lie. 3 times as opposed to 0. No, he didn't say a number, but yeah, it was. What I realized was just like we were saying earlier, like I'm kind of bored with it. That's why I didn't finish it. Like,
Yeah.
And then all the social media pictures. Dumois is back again today. A picture of West and Amanda at the airport or something. Like, I don't care.
No,
I don't care.
I
And
know.
Lindsay on Threads, put down the phone.
Yes, yeah, like we just need like a break from y'all just for a little bit, but it doesn't sound like we're going to get one because we keep seeing more pictures of Kyle with Sally Carson on Dumois, but then there's also speculation that Eva Dash is dating Kyle, but then Georgia says on Watch What Happens Live that she's doing that to secure a 3rd season of Next Gen.
Which I hate that Georgia said that. I never finished that episode of Watch What Happens because her and Ava, Georgia and Ava are like the allies. The girls are all kind of a crew and are friends, and those two were the outsiders that the ladies weren't liking. So they kind of seemed to join forces the first couple episodes. Why is Georgia going against Ava and saying that? I didn't like that.
Do you
That was
think
not
she
okay,
just
Georgia.
said it on accident because she was just like, well, just...
She could have, which also explains why the other ladies don't like Georgia because she doesn't know how to have a girl's back. But
Yeah.
Ava said, I think I saw a clip from a Decider interview where she said that her and Kyle hang with the same group of friends.
Okay.
So it's just they're around each other. But I also believe what Georgia said. Like, look, you want the fame. You want to stay on to your show. You don't need to be getting evicted from your apartment. Do what you got to do. Be seen with someone.
Would you want Sally Carson or Ava Dash on a In This City or Summer House?
So I don't like that idea. And I saw, I think Page 6 had an article yesterday that this weekend, so July 11th, they're going to start filming Summer House and they're going to have Bravo Leb crossover episodes.
Oh.
I guess like on the Valley. I keep saying the Valley when I think of the Vanderpump Rule kids. But you know how the Vanderpump Rule kids went over to Summer House? And then remember the Charleston boys went a couple episodes here or there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it seems that they're doing that, but with the younger shows. Like
Okay.
because like you said, the age difference. Sally is there's a big age difference with Kyle, but I guess maybe again Bravo jumping into the whole scandal. Like, oh, there are photos with you and Sally. Let's get her out to the Hamptons. Oh, there are photos of you and Ava. Let's get her back to the Hamptons.
Let's bring those people. But if we're bringing the younger cast, let's bring what's her name who slept with Wes and lied about it. Let's bring her.
Mia?
Yeah, the Summer House.
Mia?
Because I think they're bringing some of those
good.
Soho people too, because we saw that some of them were in.
Michaels.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Joe Bradley and
Oh, that's
Maddie.
right.
They were all seen with like Carl and Kyle. The age difference is a bit large
I
last weekend for the 4th.
But it seemed like, so they were all at different Hamptons events.
Okay.
And Lindsay was with Aaron Leachy, and she had Gemma with her in the Hamptons. So I guess now we know they did not film the 4th
so they
of July.
didn't film 4th of July?
I don't think they did because they were all at like influencer kind of events. But you know what I mean? Like parties, like sponsored events. And I read that this was the first weekend and they'll have a themed party.
I was wondering about that because also with Love Island, Sierra is obviously, she was filming After Sun on the 4th. And then I think that they're going to push the Love Island finale to next week. So I feel like Sierra is going to get one more episode of After Sun with like some of the couples that get voted off this week. That's what I'm thinking because it's Friday. Yeah, I don't think it's going to end on, it could end on Sunday, but it still would have one more episode of After Sun, which would be this weekend. So
she could only miss a week.
And I'm wondering, I thought they would have her miss like the first 2 weeks, but I feel like if you have her on that show, you want her there right away to really get into everything.
Yeah.
You know, like.
True. But haven't we had seasons where Paige was not there the very first weekend? Lindsay has not been there the very first weekend. But are they going to want to dive into that, or do they want to just keep it fun and light?
I mean, they should try to have a little fun and Keep it
Because
light.
who would she discuss it with? I guess with Mia, but I don't know that in a year from now, are we going to want to hear about it?
I mean, I feel like we are going to hear about it because
I know.
if you think about the last few seasons, even though all of that stuff was with the West stuff, right? We
Yeah,
continued to hear about that.
true.
So I feel
But he
like,
was in the house. West was still in the house. We'll have no West. We'll have no Amanda. So maybe they'll have, you know how sometimes when a housewife leaves, they'll try to bring them back for an episode. Like this was back in the day. They don't do it anymore. They'll bring them back at the beginning of the season to wrap it up. So maybe they'll have Sarah and Kyle have a conversation to wrap it up. And then if it organically comes up within their own lives, it does. But I don't think anything will be forced from production. But I think you're right. I think like the first episode, like the first weekend Sarah is there will be a discussion of it.
right there, yeah, they're all going to talk about it. And maybe people will share if they are talking to them now or, what their relationships are like with them. Because Lindsay said on that View interview that she hasn't talked to Amanda since the In This City reunion. And then she said, and I was like, Lindsay's so good at her job. She's so good. She's so good at like being a PR reality star, because she was like, and you guys don't know, but Kyle and I asked Amanda some really hard questions at the reunion. And I was like, oh my God, good plug for In the City reunion, because people aren't watching, Lindsay.
But it doesn't even fit into the storyline. If I were in the city cast, well, yes, the scandal has brought them attention.
Yeah.
Also, this is not part of their storyline.
No.
But it's going to give ratings to the reunion. But is it? I keep going back. Like, are people bored of this? Are they going to tune in to find out more about the scandal? Because do you even believe Amanda will give more?
Oh, no, I don't. But did you see that on the preview for the next episode, which is at the season finale?
Yes.
Where Amanda says to Kyle, we should have a double date or something, me and West and you and Sally.
That's really odd.
I know.
Because that was right before BravoCon. Didn't they wrap up filming and then went straight to BravoCon?
I think that this is a pickup scene.
Yes.
I think it's a pickup scene.
You're right.
It has to be.
The way she goes to that jokey level, it's so odd.
I know.
Like too soon.
Okay, wait. Put your phones down, because this was something that really upset me. Sonia texted me and she said, I feel bad for Amanda. And I was like, what? We have to talk about this on the pod. So tell me what happened to make you feel sorry for her.
I think in that moment, she did not have her awkward laugh smile. So they're at the dinner table on In the City. Gavin plays, the pot stirrer, which he loves to do. He mentions Kyle's 14 gigs. And Amanda starts off joking, all right, Gavin, do you want to be the one sleeping with Kyle? And I'm going to go sleep in another room. And then it kind of delved a little more. And I will give her credit for how she handled it in the moment. She didn't turn it into this screaming match. She didn't really point fingers. It was specifically when she said, I can acknowledge that you guys are all excited for him. And he does deserve his accolades for, accomplishing something he wanted. But for me, it's a different perspective. So I'm not in that same space. Just her saying that was very mature of her to acknowledge that in the moment, rather than letting it just turn into pure chaos. It was that moment that I felt for her. And then she said, I need to excuse myself. Yeah. I'm shaking and I'm crying. And I like how she walked away. She didn't turn it into a scene. So it gave a space for me to be empathetic for her in that moment.
No, I feel that. And I was wondering if that's when you felt that way, because I did feel, I was like, okay, this is the maturest we've seen her been, excusing herself from the table. She's having an actual reaction to this. That seemed real to me. And then the fact that Lindsay says after she walks away, well, he cheated on her so much, but she just stayed.
Let's discuss that.
Yes.
Let's discuss that.
What?
The biggest part of it all is Lindsay is so weird and awkward and nervous anytime she says it. So even at the moment when she says it, well, we all know it's been happening. We haven't said anything. And everyone just kind of looked at each other. And then she's like, Danielle. And even Danielle didn't say anything. She goes, I know.
Yeah, it's like like something we do not speak of.
Yes. So, okay, let's talk about why that is, or let's ponder why it's not spoken of. Back when Summer House first aired this past season, Lindsay was on Watch What Happens Live, and I think it was with Amanda. I'm not sure. And Andy asked her that question. Has Kyle cheated on her? And she was weird, just like this. She's like, you got to watch the show.
I remember that.
Right? You gotta watch. Again, on Watch What Happens Live this week, she's sitting in the Oprah chair. Georgina is sitting there in the chair and Watch What Happens Live.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
And Andy asks Lindsay again, has Kyle cheated on Amanda in the marriage? And she got that weird, we just didn't talk about it. What's going on there? Do her and Kyle have some kind of, you don't say this, I don't say this about you? Is she scared of something coming out about her? Why is she so nervous about acknowledging something if it's true and it's factual?
Well, the thing why she says it, so we heard you, Lindsay. So now you've said it.
Now you've said it.
Now you've said it. And so it's out there now. So now I'm like, oh, he has, because you've been there and you got Danielle to back you up and she agreed. So that is clear evidence to me that yes, he has cheated on her. Maybe it is because it's technically Kyle's show. It was Kyle who was the one to start Summer House. Lindsay's there because she knew Kyle. She was friends with Kyle. Technically, I would say now it's like, yeah, it's Lindsay, Kyle, and Carl. But maybe it is like we owe Kyle that. Or like we're going to keep doing this show together. Kyle's kind of the other staple. We got each other's backs.
Yeah, that's only thing I could think of, because the way she has pushed hard for Amanda because she's on the show and she doesn't want people to think badly of Amanda because she wants people to watch the show. But I feel like guys don't usually have it the same way that a girl does. Like if he has cheated on her, everyone doesn't like Amanda anyways. So him having cheated on Amanda through their marriage, I don't know that would affect his likability.
Right. But maybe Kyle is just like, do not talk about this. That is the one thing that is off limits. I don't want my family to know. He is very like family oriented, but it did make me look at him a different way because remember, few seasons back on the reunion, I think it was, Amanda said, our fans are very respectful and they know that we're married, so they don't really like come and like flirt with him. Well, I think that is a bunch of lies.
Yes,
I was like, why did you even say that? You didn't have to say that if it was the opposite thing that was happening.
Yeah. Why did she choose not to say anything about it? Was she worried about her spot on the show? She just, with her depression, she just didn't feel like she can get out and be on her own. Yeah. That was just so, I just can't get over that part. And really, again, the biggest part is that Lindsay is so hesitant to say anything. Yes. It does make me wonder, is there something about her? Do they make some kind of a pact? I won't talk about that for you. You don't talk about that for me. Because just for Kyle to say, this is my show, we're not going to discuss it. Well, it's just as much Lindsay's show.
Right.
It really is at this point. So that's so questionable.
I like that theory of like, what does Kyle have on Lindsay? Right. And that both Kyle and Lindsay got a lot on Carl, because who knows what was happening back in the day. And
Lindsay is not a kind of woman, or doesn't seem that she would protect a man for no reason. Like with Carl, it's very different. Like he has gotten sober now. He's changed.
Yeah.
But with Kyle, what is the reason? What is the reason?
That's such a good question. We might never know.
I know, we might never know. Unless like the True Hollywood Story Summer House in 20 years.
Lindsay will make that happen, okay?
Oh, she will. Yes, she will. But that was like the big part of the episode. And Danielle gets so much heat. I feel like sober Danielle is a different person. And should the show come back, I'm sure it will, next season, right now, her baby is a preemie in the NICU. Yeah. We don't know how long the baby's going to be there. So filming starts in September. We hope she'll be home with her baby by September.
Absolutely.
I want to see her as a mom, because even in this episode, she wasn't really drinking. She was very calm.
I'm enjoying Danielle this season. I have to say, she's like one of my favorite characters on this show. Like, she's kind of bringing it. She's telling people how it is. Like, she hasn't done anything that I think is like weird or out of pocket. The person who's bothering me, well, it was Amanda, but this episode, it kind of flipped to Kyle. And I think it was because he got his drunk voice back. He's drunk again. I've seen drunk Kyle. I don't need to see drunk Kyle anymore. I don't need that. I don't need to hear about your butt either.
The anal fissure.
Yeah.
I was
Like-
so confused. I'm like, you used Metamucil, but you didn't also use a stool softener.
I'm like,
there's
what?
a lot of anatomy questions of like, how did it fly out? Like, I don't understand.
I'm like,
how any of it works.
Why do we know this, Kyle? Please don't tell us this.
No, and then he's in the bath. Like, they made a whole scene of him getting in the bathtub. I would have rather have seen Yvonne and Nick talking, like anything other than those two, and than him alone in the bathtub with his lover boy and his candles. That was not necessary.
Oh my gosh. How much do you think this show, like, if you think this show is going to come back for a second season, is this show cheap to make?
It has to be. So if we think about Miami and Ladies of London are on pause. You know, Ladies of London, are they using the crew over there in London, or are they using American crew and sending? That has got to be very expensive. Even Miami has got to be expensive. Like, the production value of that show is really nice. But then, like, the Valley Persian style came back. I don't think that. Like, they probably have to buy their own drinks. They probably have to get their own Uber. You know? Like, and they only have like 8 episodes. So it could also be like they don't. Okay, and you're more experienced with like TV. Don't they sometimes do filler shows? Like, I heard Denise Richards' show was a filler show between like their big housewife shows. So they have money allotted for those smaller shows that probably don't cost too much. So Valley Persian style, I'm assuming, is one of those. People are watching enough for the nostalgia. In the city, I don't know. It's expensive in Manhattan, but they're not. They went to Vermont, or were they in Vermont?
Oh, Connecticut or something. Yeah, New Hampshire.
The house wasn't a lot nicer than the Winter House, which means Winter House must have been really cheap.
Oh,
You know how bothered I was with the first season of Winter House. That house was horrible. This house was a lot nicer than that, and
but
it still wasn't amazing.
It still wasn't very good. I was like, "This is where they're going for their."
And then they rented cars. They rented cars. One of the cars was my car. Like, so I'm like, it's like a Chevy. Like, I think like they're not getting these like really nice transportation to get them to Connecticut. So, and then like sharing rooms and I don't think it costs much.
Right, the most expensive thing is Lindsay, Kyle, Danielle, and Amanda. That's where you're paying for your money.
You think Danielle gets paid that much? Like, definitely more than the others. But was she ever technically a full-time cast member on Summer House? How many seasons where she only came like here and there? She didn't come every single weekend.
I feel like, I don't know, I think she was full-time many years.
Like the COVID years.
But then she was part-time.
So she's knocked down in her salary, and I don't know I don't think she's as expensive as that.
No, I don't think so. I think that Kyle, Lindsay, and Amanda are the most expensive, obviously, right? But then, you're right. That show's probably not that much to film.
So
give it another season.
Yeah, because rather than explore and find a new show, you've got one sitting there. It had decent ratings. It can be a little, padding to Summer House and see where it goes.
Okay, I like that. Okay, yeah. I just, I'm not sure if people are going to continue to come back.
I know. But even Summer House is going to be a big tell next season.
Yep, for sure.
It really will be, because I'm so tired of them. I'm like, I don't want to see Kyle party.
Yeah, like I'm like, oh good, we don't have to talk about them or see them for like at least 6 months, right? For them to film and then bring it out next summer?
No, I think around January, February is when Summer House came out.
Okay.
And then In the City came in May. So maybe
that's
like
not
February.
Enough months. Oh yeah, we get the holidays first, so we can really distance ourselves from them. What about this Summer House spinoff?
I don't know if it's a spinoff or it's just Hey You, like the Summer House Canada. I think it's kind of like, they have Real Housewives of Melbourne. They've got random Cheshire or something. I've never watched it. I think it's just something like that. We won't even get it here.
So we won't get it. It's just...
It's Hey You is creating one.
But it's a Canadian Summer House? Oh.
Where in Canada? Like, where would they do Summer House? I don't know.
I mean, like it's going to be cold,
on a lake?
Or is it
Are there
warm?
A lot of lakes? There's a lot of lakes in Canada, right?
There is, yeah. Uh-huh.
So maybe it's on a lake. I don't know.
I guess they went with Canada instead of the Ozarks. Sorry, West.
Well, that would be Bravo. So there's.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, this is Hey You. So,
but wait, have we discussed how Ladies of London? The show that Hey You put on Peacock and Bravo are picking it up this summer, and we're gonna get Real
Yes.
Housewives of London here.
Yay!
I'm so excited.
Which
I'm
is
so
not the
excited.
same as Ladies of London, which is
No.
on pause. And you said that there's some Ladies of London drama going
Yeah.
on.
So, well, there was an article that came out, or some gossip started saying that Margot's husband was suing something about the
Yes.
portrayal of how she came off. So,
Yikes.
and then she after that came out, she shut down all her social media. She was on Jeff Lewis Live this last week, and she said, "No, I shut down my Margot was
Margot.
yes,
Okay.
Margot. Sorry."
No,
Margot
fine.
was, and she said, I shut down my social media months ago. I didn't even know about this rumor. My husband is not suing anybody.
Oh.
Yeah. She didn't even know about Hecate dying. She said that Martha doesn't talk to me. She's very staunch in the belief that Martha sided with
Mark.
Mark and I forgot her name.
Kimmy?
The dark Kimmy. Sided with Kimmy. Those are her good friends. So basically she was outed from the group. She said that was Dara the one that was Micah's friend that was only there one episode.
Yeah.
That if Dara stuck
This
around the
is
show,
Dara.
yes, the show would have been more successful if Dara had stuck around.
Oh. Well, then we would have had two villains, not just Margot, but Dara as well.
Who knows how things would have played out though if Dara, you know what I mean? Like if you
yeah.
got someone stronger and louder, it may leave some people to take a little more of a backseat and not feel the need to peacock so much. Is that
That's
the term?
true. Yeah. That's a good term.
But I'm excited for Real Housewives of London. I have been wanting to. Everyone keeps saying get a VPN. Like, I don't know about all that stuff. I reached out to my brother. He's a techie guy. And then I just forgot. I was like, I'm not doing anything illegal about that. I'm just going to have to wait. And so my dreams came true.
Yay!
My wishes, my prayers. And it comes out like later July, which means we're going to get Roaring 20th Girls Trip August. London comes at the end of July. House of Stassi comes end of July.
Yes.
So we're going to get some good stuff soon.
Oh, this is really exciting. I know, and OC just started, which is good
Yes.
because we were having a little bit of a gap. And what's happening on the Valley? Because
it's so Janet. I don't know if you know
Yes.
this. So she came out and shared the reason she's gone so hard for Danny is that it's a kind of like a PTSD, like a response to something that happened in her childhood. Some people are saying they wish she shared more, but you know what? I respect her. Like, you don't need to share anything.
Yeah.
I feel bad. Even when she was sharing it, I'm like, Janet gets so much hate on social media. People just do not like her.
I know.
Her getting this vulnerable and sharing this, I feel like it's not going to go well. Then she put out an Instagram post, like a carousel of notes, which if you haven't seen it and you're watching The Valley, go to Janet's Instagram page and read it. So whatever happened to her, I'm pretty sure she said happened when she was 12 years old, but again, didn't go into the details. So I would imagine at that young of an age, I'm looking it up to I don't want to say the wrong age. At that young of an age for something to have happened to you, like it's really shaped your whole life. Like my heart broke when I read that. So that was like a big part of it. Kristen is kind of siding with Nia. Like Kristen threw Brittany, Zach, and Jasmine under the bus saying, oh, if we're going to talk about people needing to stop drinking, we should go to those three. So it's like, well, Kristen, where do you stand in this group?
Yeah.
My question's out there, and I wanted to post this on social media to ask, can we bring back Danny, Nia, and Janet next season? I don't see how the three of them can be in a room together and move forward. There is no resolving this at all. So how do we move forward if they're all on the cast? Lala keeps inserting herself into conversations to try to have Janet's back, but it's like, stop bringing it up. Like it's clouded this whole season because Lala wants to keep going up and saying Danny needs to take accountability for Zach. Like, we got to get away from this.
You know, I did polls. Whose side are you on? Danny and Nia or Janet? And on YouTube, people are on Danny and Nia's side.
Yes.
On Threads, people are on Janet's side.
I feel like a lot of threads are a lot of creators. I'm also finding more and more that my algorithm is so stuck of what I like that I wonder, I'm not really getting a view of what's going on out there. And I don't know if YouTube is algorithm based because my polls on there, same thing with you. Like they love Danny and Nia on YouTube. Even TikTok, I made a TikTok and I asked at the end, a lot of Danny and Nia.
Yes. So I feel, so I wonder, I feel like mostly people were on Danny and Nia's side before this season, but this season it's swayed and it's changing, and it's even changing to this past week, you know? And so it's very interesting. It'll be an interesting
It
reunion.
is. Well,
for
and
sure.
Nia doesn't let Danny talk. Like when he drinks, she literally will go in front of him. Okay, honey, just say okay, honey, just say okay. And then he gets mad at her. And everyone's questioning, like, what is she doing? Is she trying to hide who he really is? Which is the whole issue of everyone trying to say, you even see it in your husband too, on how he can't handle his alcohol, gets angry. Now you're trying to block him. Well, don't be on the show. If you're physically blocked, like she's literally coming like this between him and Lala, so he doesn't talk and Lala only talks to her. Like, this is a sign that maybe he shouldn't be on reality TV.
And do you think that the Valley is going to get a 4th season?
Oh, 100%.
Really?
But I say it just based on social, like you can kind of on social media, based on what shows you post about. Like if you did a Ladies of London TikTok, would you get a lot of views? Like back when it was airing?
No.
Not
Valley
gets so many views and so much engagement.
That's
it's coming
true.
back.
That's true. Yeah.
As much as people complain, it's coming. Look at Beverly Hills comes back. OC. People love to hate on it, which gives it engagement.
It's true. It's true. And, you know, all of those claims are valid because we watch these shows too and we see all this stuff. And we're like, oh, God, yeah, like some of it is painful to watch. Or like Beverly Hills is literally like watching paint dry sometimes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Because no, but you're wondering if you watched last season of Miami versus last season of Beverly Hills, you're like, wait, they canceled that one? It was so entertaining and so good. But it's just people love Beverly Hills, and that's just the way it is.
It's just like New York shows, right?
Exactly. That's just like how it is.
Star of the week on reality TV. Brooke Shields' daughter, and I totally forgot her name, which is not great. But Brooke Shields came on a scene. I'm like, someone is hamming it up for the camera. Brooke, are you gonna go put your Calvin Klein jeans back on? She was like, okay, there are cameras in my kitchen. I'm liking this. And her daughter is full of energy, and she's a journalist. I guess her father's a screenwriter or something. So she graduated college. So it just sounds like she's at home writing, needs to make some money. So let me go in front of the cameras. I am liking her.
Oh, good. Yes.
Yes. Keep an eye out for her. I need to follow her on social media now that I thought of that. I do follow Brooke Shields, and I am not Brooke's age. She is much older than me. I think she was wearing the Calvin Klein jeans in the 80s. Did you see her movie, The Blue Lagoon?
Of course I did. Yes, we talked about it. We both are like, big fans. If I saw Brooke Shields, most people, like famous people, I don't care. If I saw Brooke Shields, I would care. I would be like, oh my gosh, there's Brooke Shields. I don't know if I would say anything, but I would probably like try to take a picture of her.
Did you watch that documentary on her? What was that, Netflix, like a year or so ago, maybe?
I don't think so, no.
You have to watch it.
Okay.
It was good. I mean, like talk about the Blue Lagoon, and I won't go off on a long tangent about it, but the inappropriateness of it, knowing she was only 14 years old.
Yikes.
So it talks a lot, and she's interviewed, and she talks a lot about how she was sexualized at such a young age and how, and it was the 80s.
Yeah.
Like how far we've come since the 80s.
Yay, thank goodness. And my thing that I wanted to share that I can't stop thinking about from the week is that Sierra is doing such an amazing job on Love Island After Sun. I forgot that I haven't really shared that because I think I shared it with you offline. Like, she's so fun, funny, personal, really showing her personality. We don't get to see that Sierra much on Summer House. Like we do kind of sometimes at the parties, but I think it's because it's an ensemble cast and because so much of the show has focused on these relationships, male relationships, right? Her and Wes, her and Austin, that we have to watch her being upset or sad. We haven't been able to see the full charismatic version, you know, like who she truly is. And this opportunity is letting her really shine. And her and the other girl, their co-host, her name is Teffy, and they have a really good chemistry together. They vibe off of each other really well. And I love how she just gets to be like fun and funny. And it's just, they just get to talk to each other and interview the guests, and they both are doing such a good job. Like nobody ever watched After Sun before, but now people were watching it, enjoying it, and it's just like a fun little thing. And I'm just so happy that she got to do it because we got to see more of her, and I was like, I want to see more of her, you know, like this side of her where she's actually happy and it's more focused maybe on her, but not on the relationship sad stuff.
I'm glad I meant to ask you that. So I'm glad you shared that because she's getting a little bit of heat of not doing great on After Sun.
They had a week where she had said, which I watched it too, and like I think it's like relax, okay? They were just saying she was saying that she was kind of siding with this guy because he wasn't really into this girl, but this girl is like a total fan favorite, and everyone was mad at this guy that he wasn't into her, and it's like I think it's like yeah, we didn't like that behavior, but this girl is great and she found another connection anyway, you know what I mean? And it's like it's gonna be okay. But yeah, I think she got a little bit of heat about that. But it's like people are gonna say she's gonna say things you don't always agree with. Okay, that's the way that these shows should be. So but I think it's okay now because they had last week's episode and it was like
it was
fine.
Was there some drama with Teffy or something? Her and Teffy not getting
along?
No,
they're good.
Okay, I saw one clip and it looked like it, but they're taken out of context, so it's hard to know, right?
No, they seem like they are like friends. They're totally get along. They have I think they have a great chemistry, which you can tell if people like are faking it. No, this seems completely authentic, completely genuine. So.
Good. Teffy came up. I think she was asking for book recommendations or sharing book recommendations on Threads. And I'm like, oh, someone into books. Let me follow. And then I'm like, she's on the After Sun show. She's funny. She's a reader.
Yeah, like she's funny. She's fun. Like I didn't know who she was before this, but she is somebody big because she has almost 500,000 followers on Instagram, right?
That.
So she's like a big somebody too. But I was like, oh, I like her too.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I just So yeah, and Love Island, it's gonna be ending soon. It has been an interesting season. It felt this past week, it felt a little like they ran out of stuff to show. So they showed us some like filler stuff, like they had a karaoke contest and I know. Then they went to a water park. I was like, oh wow, they really like don't have anything. But it's okay. We'll see what happens in the end. Apparently more people are watching it this year than ever before.
Wow.
So I don't know if that matters. But Ariana nominated for best host of a reality show. She's nominated for an Emmy. Post on her Instagram. Sheena in the comments clapping emojis.
Because everyone's going to say, where is anyone checked on Sheena?
Oh, that was a lot of the other comments where it had somebody check on Sheena, da-da-da-da. And then a lot of the comments were really mean. A lot of them were like, good job. Yeah, like I watched Love Island because of you. And then some of the comments were like, oh, like are they just giving out Emmys? Like, why? And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so rude. Like she does a really good job on that show. I've watched her all 3 seasons and I think she is one of the best reality hosts. Like she does a really great job and she's gotten better every year.
Yeah.
So.
How much do ratings play into it? Because Summer House was nominated for an Emmy.
Yes.
And VPR was nominated the year after the Scandal event. So do ratings come into account of who they look at to be nominated?
It must have something to do with it, right? Because because I was like, Summer House, they've never been nominated for anything, okay?
Yeah.
And Top Chef, nominated for many Emmys.
Yeah. I stopped watching Top Chef.
Me too.
The format was just
Kristen Kish. Yeah, she's nominated for Best Host of a Competition Reality Series. So,
after Padma left, I couldn't watch anymore.
Oh, I know.
Kristen's great, but I miss her.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, good. You put another strong woman in there. Great. Yeah. Good job, right?
Yes.
Like, I love that.
Yes.
I think that's all for today. We're so happy that you chose to listen and continue to come back. Follow us, the Bravo Rundown on Instagram, the.Bravo Rundown. We're everywhere. So just follow us and come back. And we'll see you next week with all of the next hot Bravo tea that's brewing next week. Okay, bye.